Welcome to So That Starts with Sonita. In this video, I'll be showing you 10 ways to prepare yourself before you enter into dating or courtship. When I talk of dating or courting, no matter how you call it in your context, what I mean is that phase where you're making friendships with people with the aim of finding out if you're compatible enough for marriage. Not those kind of friendships that you just want to also have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Any big thing in life involves preparation, and marriage is one of the very big things in life. Before you even get to the marriage itself, you need to go through the process of searching and finding. Apart from biologically, there are emotional, spiritual, and intellectual ways that you're supposed to grow and mature before you can say that now I'm a mature person, I can date. Build on these areas and make sure they are solid before you consider dating. The reason why you get into many heartbreaks, many wrong decisions, regrettable relationships, you just jump into romantic relationships without preparing yourself. And as expected, if you do not prepare yourself, be ready for accident. Right, we'll then take you to the 10 ways to prepare yourself. Before I will get to that, I want to let you know that this is the whole series I'm starting. I'm going to be doing all this process of finding a life partner and getting married. The first thing is understand the purpose of dating. Understand that it is a finding process. It's a research process. The outcome is not yet determined. It is a time where you're trying to know another person better to see if you two are compatible for marriage. This is a process, not a status. You cannot say that you're not single, you're not married, you're dating. No, it is either you're single, you're married. Dating is not a status, it's a process. And because it's a process and not a status, it should not take too long. The aim is to find out. You don't stay with somebody for so long that we are just dating. We don't yet know if we will get married or not. We are just dating. That is not right. Because the Bible tells us that people find a wife. I mean that there's a process where somebody needs to be finding a wife and the potential wife to make herself available to be found. But that process should not take forever because it is not a status. You only stay for longer in a status, not in a process. You cannot tell me you're dating somebody for 2 years. What's that? You're dating even 1 year. You're dating somebody for 1 year and you don't yet know if you should marry the person or not. It doesn't make sense at all. If you know what you're looking for and then you're communicating with the person in one way or the other, you should already know if I want to marry this person or not. And then communicate. If you notice that, oh, I am not going to marry this person, communicate so that the person will move on. Or if you were just finding information about somebody informally, withdraw. Don't be giving red light, green light for the next 3 years in the name of dating. If you're dating somebody, the aim is to find out if I can marry him or not. So the outcome is either yes or no. It is not because these guys are being so friendly to you and trying to know you better, and now he has discovered that you two cannot get married and he withdraws, that you go about saying that he has broken your heart. That is not a breakup because in fact there was no relationship. Well, when I'm talking of dating, there is no commitment, and so nothing should be done like things of people who are already in a committed relationship. The second thing is know the benefits and the dangers of dating. One of the benefits of getting to know somebody better is that you might end up having a very wonderful friend in the person, somebody that can help you in another aspect of life, maybe even in your studies or your career. Before you enter into the dating scene, understand that creating friendships with the opposite sex must not always end in marriage. Anybody that shows you concern and love does not mean that they must marry you. They might just be finding out if you're compatible for them, and you're supposed to also find out if they are compatible for you. They might even want you, but if you see that they are not compatible for you, don't go into the stage of proposing or asking for a proposal, and don't stay in that bond forever because you want that the person must marry you. Also, understand the dangers of dating or courting. The fact is, when you're getting to know a particular person more and more, it is very possible for you to develop emotions towards the person. It's very possible for romance to grow above reasoning. to a point that even when you know in your mind that this person is not the kind of person that will make a good life partner for me, your feelings are already going ahead of you. There is a big possibility that you start being physically intimate, even when spiritually and intellectually you know you shouldn't be. So know that, have that knowledge that that is a danger, because if you do not know that that's the danger, you one, it will take you by surprise. It now depends on you, on the way you manage it. You'll end up living one of these two, either the benefits or the dangers. The third thing is understand God's standard for marriage. You should be able to find out what is God's standard for a wife, a husband, a home, so that you want to build a kingdom marriage, a godly marriage. You know how to go about it. The reason why we date the wrong people sometimes is just because we don't even know what we are looking for. We don't even know what God's standard is. You don't know that, oh, I like this person. Or maybe you just take your own standard. There are standards that God has for marriage. There are principles, there are expectations. Read books, study the word of God itself. Find out from them what God says about marriage. Wife, husband, Christian home, even godly children, all those things, so that you know how to approach dating. Know the end before you start at the beginning, so that you don't take something in the beginning that will lead you to the wrong end. In the coming weeks, I'll make a video teaching what you should be looking for in the dating process. So I'll not talk so much about the standards right now. After you know these godly standards, determine in your heart that you will not break God's standard. Determine in your heart that you will work by them, even if it is difficult. Even if it means losing somebody that you really admire a lot about him. Most times, people know these standards in their head, and then you enter the dating scene, you now meet somebody that you like so many other things about the person. But there are key standards that God has put in place that, see, if the person is not like this, it will not end in a godly marriage. You now go and compromise those standards, because surely you already have an emotional attachment with the person. Make sure that you understand the standards and you are ready not to break them. The fifth one is build a positive self-image. See, if you start dating or courting somebody, you've not built a positive self-image, you'll either be intimidated or you'll be intimidating people. If you're a young woman and you have not built your self-esteem, your value in God, your value for who you are, and you know it, the important thing is even knowing it. You will go into dating and you'll be ready to just pick anybody. You'll be thinking that, oh, it's a privilege that somebody loves me. Nobody is doing you a favor for loving you, and you're not doing somebody a favor for loving them. If you don't build a positive self-image, you're looking down on yourself, you'll be too clingy. You hold on to what you should let go, and sometimes you will let go what you should have held on to, because you might think you do not deserve it. The person deserves better. I am too bad for this kind of good person. And when you see a bad person, that's how you will now hold strong to that one, because after all, I don't deserve any better. Have a positive self-image. So guys, if you don't have a positive self-image, you'll be intimidated by some women. Maybe because they are rich, the lady is rich, I cannot talk to them. When you are far richer, maybe not even physically yet, but the potentials you have are greater than even money. And maybe the two of you will make good life partner, and you'll be intimidated. Or maybe because the lady is tall, she's still beautiful, you like her, she's a godly partner for you, but you're intimidated. Have a positive self-image. Worst case scenario for guys is those guys that do not see themselves to be so great, but they get into relationship with lady. As a guy, you will be trying to suppress a lady so that she will not grow taller than you. I've seen guys that always say, I cannot marry a lady that is so educated, that is so rich. That is low self-esteem. Even if a woman is the president of the world and she is your wife, you have spiritual authority. But if you do not know, you'll be intimidated, and then you'll start fighting for power that you already have. So before you even enter the dating scene, build your self-esteem, so that women will not intimidate you, guys will not intimidate you, and then you will not be intimidating others in order to shine. The next thing is learn to control your emotions. Emotional maturity is key before you enter dating and courtship, because in relationships where you have that idea of marriage in your mind, there is a whole roller coaster of emotions. You meet somebody that you admire in some way, because maybe it's a beautiful girl or it's a handsome guy, your emotions are already running faster than your reasoning. And if you have not built that emotional maturity, which is a fruit of the Holy Spirit, self-control, you'll be tempted to just forget about everything you know and just follow your feelings. Your feelings are your master. You're like, oh, I know I should not do these things, but I just feel like doing it. You are a slave to your feelings. It's a pity, because if you get into dating and courting, when you're a slave to your feelings, your feelings will carry you to where you were not going. In the next 1 to 2 years, you'll see yourself somewhere, you turn and you ask yourself, how did I end up with this man? How did I end up with this girl? Because your feelings don't have eyes. Feelings are a beautiful part of humans, but they should not lead in dating. So put them under check before you even enter the dating scene. Let your feelings follow your reasoning. Do not push your reasoning to be following your feelings. It will take you to the wrong destination. Learn how to hear God. Identify how God speaks to you. Hear God in different aspects before you enter the dating field, or else you will end up in a relationship just because somebody told you that it was God. Between you and God, you're deaf. You cannot hear. You don't know when God's talking to you. So the only people that will help you and tell you that it's God or not is your pastor, it's your prophet, it's your parents, or maybe another person. Marriage is a personal decision. Learn how to hear God in every situation, then you can date, so that you know that when God is saying that leave this guy, you will be able to know. When God is saying that no, he is the one, you'll be able to hear. You will not be confused. Build that intimacy, build that communication, sharpen your spiritual ear with the word and with prayer. Learn how to be alone but not lonely. At that time when you're so desperate for relationship, you cannot live without somebody in your life. You're just like, no matter how the person is, all I need is somebody in my life. Know that you're not ready to date at that point. You are ready to date when you do not need somebody to complete your life. You're ready to date when dating is a choice. You chose to. It is not as if you cannot do without. No. Because if it is not a choice, you'll take anybody and anything, which is not even God's standard for you. Learn how to do things that you enjoy all by yourself without anybody. Learn how to enjoy your own company. If you don't learn how to enjoy your own company, another person will not enjoy your company. You'll be looking for who will make your life interesting. And if you are thinking that having a relationship is having somebody who will make your life joyful all the time, then you're asking for too much from a human being. Only God can give you joy. The first person in your life is you and God before any other person. If you cannot relate well with these people, you will not relate well with another person. You will be with somebody and you'll still be lonely. And that is worse. Before you go into dating, prepare yourself to be an asset. Don't plan to be a liability to anybody. I'm not only talking financially. For example, if you're planning to be a wife, learn how to be a virtuous wife already. Build in yourself those things that you want to receive from another person. Do not just prepare yourself to go and receive. Prepare to go and give. Plan how you give joy in another person's life. Prepare how you spend money on another person. Bank prayer and the word. It's good to be looking for good standards, but build those good standards in yourself. While looking for a prayerful woman, also be a prayerful guy, so that you can also be praying, you two pray together. In fact, learn skills that no matter where you find yourself, you will not be stranded. Not just sit around looking for who will come and bless your life. Plan and prepare how you go and bless another person. Also, before you get into dating, get busy with purpose. Find out that one thing that God brought you here on earth to do and get busy with it, because it is only then that you even know whom you can date better. The thing that you're here to do on earth will have you determine whom you can spend your life with. So you'll not go about dating people that are not even going that direction at all. I have seen situations where people are just arguing around in their singlehood and then go and get into a relationship with somebody just because they like the person or because the person is a good person, and then they eventually discover their purpose and find out it is not compatible with the person, and they start dragging, and then they'll start telling you that marriage is hell, marriage is this, marriage that. There is nothing wrong with marriage. Marriage is a beautiful institution that God himself created for us to enjoy. And it is our ignorance, our refusal to learn, and our stubbornness that make us go and get it wrongly. And at the end of the day, you start tarnishing the image of marriage for nothing. In the next video, I'll be giving us an outline on how God expects us to do this.